Can someone track down the women Kamala Harris says are bleeding out in parking lots because Roe v. Wade was overturned? Don't hold your breath.
His name is John McEntee. He's one of the architects of Project 2025. He works for the Heritage Foundation. He also was a part of Donald Trump's administration. He was the one that went from spot to spot holding Donald Trump's briefcase. And again, John McEntee is one of the architects of Project 2025. He posted that video over on his TikTok account. That's what he does. Over on his TikTok accounts, he posts these 15-second videos that are along these lines and border on racism, misogyny, xenophobia, and homophobia. Well, he asked the question, and there are thousands of women down in the comment section telling him their story. But the sad part is, he doesn't care. He doesn't care about their stories. But we do. And one of my mutuals, she went through and pulled out a few stories. I'm going to share her video with you.
Have you seen John McEntee's video yet?
Can someone track down the women Kamala Harris says are bleeding out in parking lots because Roe v. Wade was overturned? Don't hold your breath.
Well, holy shit, did he open the floodgates. There are thousands, tens of thousands of comments just like this. My daughter nearly lost her life as she miscarried triplets that didn't expel her body, and 3 hospitals wouldn't remove them. This comment section isn't what you were expecting, is it? Sending love to all these bravely sharing their story. And from Jen, yep, passed out in my front yard after bleeding for 4 days. An ER doc had already told me it didn't look good, but there was nothing they could do, and I should contact my OB the following Monday. Ectopic pregnancy survivor sat in the ER while my doctor called her attorney to find out if I could receive medicine or if I had to wait until I bled internally to help me. Does it have to be a parking lot? Does the location matter? Because it took me over 3 weeks to have a complete miscarriage because my hospital and several doctors refused to perform a D&C. My friend went through an emergency cesarean after carrying her terminal fetus for 10 weeks after learning of his condition. She was dying, and now she can no longer have any babies. I had an ectopic pregnancy. I was bleeding out in my living room, had to have multiple blood transfusions. Irish Eyes says, I had an ectopic in Texas 4 months ago. They refused treatment until 10 weeks because of laws. My 1.5-year-old almost lost his mother for a very wanted pregnancy. Nico says, hi, that would be me, 19 weeks, stillbirth at home, after going to 3 hospitals and begging my doctor for help for weeks. Now I have an autoimmune disease triggered by the blood loss. My friend had to go into septic shock before she could get help for MMC because the doctor couldn't perform an abortion. Monica says, I wasn't in a parking lot, but my husband found me unconscious in our bathroom from bleeding out from a miscarriage. Samara says, I was 6 weeks when I was told there wasn't a heartbeat, fevers and bleeding for 3 months. Everyone refused to help me due to the laws, living in Texas due to my husband being in the military. Boop says, I watched my wife labor for 5 days and almost bled out after pushing for 4 hours. I was there every minute. No one should be forced to go through what she went through. I was sent home from 2 ERs with an ectopic and a sheet of rupture signs and told to come back when I did, and I was actively dying. I sat at home for 3 weeks dying of sepsis before it ruptured. And Sam says, quite literally, the other day my pregnant friend started bleeding, went to the hospital, was refused care, and was told to finish bleeding at home and come back when there was 100% no blood. If Republicans think that they are going to win in November, they are so fucking wrong. We are done dying for them.
And there are thousands of other women telling their stories down in that comment section. But like I said, he does not care. He represents Republicans. He represents Donald Trump. He represents MAGA nuts. They are cruel. They don't care about the pain that women are going through with these abortion bans across the country. They do not care. And the only way to turn this around is to make sure we vote each and every one of them out of office. That's the only way that we can get back some of what we lost as women in this country.